Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Guns. I'm back with another review, except this time I'm going to be taking down my Model 989 Marlin. I had some issues firing, so there will be a delay in the review. It'll be about a couple more weeks before I can fully do a review. And today we're going to figure out exactly what's wrong. As you can see, I've got just the receiver, no stock. The Dragunov ATI stock's over in the corner. I would turn the camera, but it's a little hard to turn the camera on my bipod. But, so you'll have to take my word. Anyways, we're going to be taking down a field strip, if you will, of this whole receiver assembly. Now, make sure you take detailed notes as I go through this. That, or you can just kind of play back all of the video till you get it all set up in the way you want it. But, anyways, my rambling on. I'm going to tell you what you're going to need to do this, and possibly what you're going to need to expect. I had a lot of trouble with I'll go through the little part that I had trouble with, but I'll go through every little part in detail. Probably going to be a two-parter, because the second part's going to be mostly details on my upcoming reviews and stuff. So, if you want to check out my second part and figure out what I'm going to be doing next month, in the month of October, please check up on that. But, we're going to get started in this. Now, first things first, if everybody knows how to take off the stock to make sure you get to the state, what you do is on the Marlin 989, there is a panel, a little, I'll bring the stock over here to show you, because I don't have the equipment on me. The equipment's not here. This is the stock, okay? The trigger assembly is right here. This is the trigger assembly. Got this in a little bag. Make sure you label everything. I have everything labeled, massively labeled, so I can know how to put it back together. I have a whole, I'll show you this too. We're going to be going right down the list. I got a list of stuff right here. This is the how to take it down itself. I've labeled all parts and where they go and what they fit onto with just this piece of paper. Now, you can do the same thing, or you can take pictures, like I also did. If you're not familiar with taking down a certain gun, do like I did, and just take down, as you take it down, make pictures, take notes. Because the more information you have, the better chance you can put this back together right. Actually, recently, I just took this thing apart, so I know everything is going to go back together right. I've had no problems with it. I already know what the problem is with the Marlin, but I'm going to reveal that at the very end. So let's go into this. We don't need this. This is the trigger assembly. It goes right there. Now there's a piece that goes from here to here. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. There's a piece that goes from the trigger assembly and the trigger guard all the way to the front. That is the magazine panel, as I call it. It's a little piece of metal it's a metal band that goes around the mag well and adapts. You can see the outline right here where it's been. Right here, it goes right around here. Now on the Fiber Force ATI stock, you don't need it. That's why my parts are not here. They're put away in storage, and it goes all the way to right here. And then there's a few pieces. There's a screw that holds it all together, and then back here's a bolt, which is over in one of the bags over there. Can't see it, it's off camera. And that bolt's over there in the bag, because I've been gonna powder coat that. Not powder coat, but chrome that up a little bit. So we don't need the magazine, we don't need the trigger assembly, and we don't need the stock. All we want is just the assembly, or not the assembly, but the whole your receiver. Now take down your receiver. There is front bolts and back bolts. Now one is a pin, and then the inside of the pin is threaded to fit the other part, but anyways, you want to keep these separate. And this is where you can use the double screw method, the two screwdrivers here to do that. But I find that you can just put your fingernail in one of the holes and turn. It works just as good. Now, one's the pin on the right side. Should be the pin right there. This is the pin that goes inside. If you can see in the inside of there, it's threaded, or not threaded, but been coved out so it can accept the screw. That's what holds your receiver assembly together. Now, you don't want to take apart the receiver assembly because there'll be a ton of problems, and that is like an hour's worth of frustration you can avoid. Anyway, set those aside. Make sure you know that those are the back left, which one's back left and which one's back right. I obviously put them in order. You can see that way up at the top, that black speck. Now we're going to go on to the front right, and the front left. I put the same trick. Put your finger over that one. Now these are just screws. These are the same size screw on both sides. Why they did it on the back and not the front, I don't know. The pin system actually works a little better. It keeps everything nice in line. I think it has something to do with the blowback system. Even though it is not a piston gun, it still has a system in which the gas is chambered back to push the bolt back and accept another round. I'll go through the other parts in here as well. Anyways, those are the two front, left and right screws. Make sure those are set aside and not messed with. And now, if you've done this correctly, you should be able to pull the whole assembly right out. That is your receiver assembly, as I like to call it. It houses your magwell, and all your other gizmos that makes the gun work. That is a bitch to put back together if you accidentally mess it up. So make sure you keep that nice and tight in your hands and don't grab it by one part, or else it'll fall all apart. And that's not a good thing, because then you're going to have to definitely work on how to put it back together. But now you're left with your bolt, and your bolt carry, and your recoil spring. Now what you do is you pull back the bolt. I don't know if you can see this in camera. Put your thumb in where the bolt is, and if your thumbs are a little big, turn it sideways, and you pull your bolt and assembly out. Now make sure you slowly do this, slowly, so your pin doesn't go flying across the room. Now you've got your bolt assembly with spring all ready to go. And it's pretty easy to put this back together. I'll show you. So that's the simple parts. Now you can go and clean all that out. I've got a lot of guck in there. So I'm going to go probably do it off camera, and I'll come back to you in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. After a little bit of cleaning up, I'll show you the problem right here. I'll move the light so you guys can see it too. Right in there, this is the bolt. This is where the bolt rides and everything. You guys know what this is. It's a bolt carry. Anyways, inside here houses the firing pin and your extractors on the Marlin. Well, this is what happened. I don't know if you can see that too well because it is a little blurry. But right there, my firing pin has been sheared off about a ½ an inch. That is caused from either dry firing too much. Maybe the previous owner was dry firing it way too much, practicing in his home. It could be caused anything from maybe a shell casing popped up and broke it off. Anything really could happen. Or it can be just mechanical failure and it busted on its own. Now Marlin makes really good products, but this is something that was their downfall. I've heard a lot of problems after 72. Your post 72 Marlins won't have this problem too much, but the 989s did have this problem. Both in the M1 and M2 category had this problem. It's the firing pin isn't strong enough to fully, it's not really made out of the best quality material. But everything else is made out of 400-10A stamped steel. Now stamped is where they take a whole block of steel, put it in a metal. It's kind of like what you do with candy. If you've ever seen how ribbon candy is made, how it's formed out of one kind of thing, I can't explain it any better than that, really. You'd really have to just look up gun stamping on the internet and check it out for yourself, because I really can't explain it any better than what I just did. But now we're going to go into the favorite part. And this part is kind of difficult. For anybody who has put together this gun, they're going to think, oh my god, this thing is in like 5 or 10 pieces. This should be pretty easy. Even though the Marlin is very easy to, most parts, it's right on the money, I was right, actually it's only 10 parts. if you don't take apart the receiver assembly, which I accidentally did the first time I did. I took a lot of pictures though. That's what saved me. But really, you can't really go wrong with this because it's a lot simpler than your Ruger 1022. Your 1022, if anyone's ever taken apart, it is a lot of pieces. It's like 25 to this 10 pieces. So times this by 150%. It sounds like a big number, but no, it's only 25 pieces to 10 pieces. Not taking apart the assembly and this assembly. But anyways, I'm going to have to, next weekend, I'm going to have to take that trigger out. I'm going to have to take all this apart. I'm probably going to put this together and then take it back apart off camera. And I'll take the bolt assembly. But, yeah. So, what you're going to do first is you take your firing pin. You notice how, make sure you keep the pin and the spring together. Because it's a lot easier to manipulate the spring. It's like this. Anyways, you take your spring and put it in that hole right there. Right in the bottom. Put that right in the hole. And you take that little metal piece. The metal piece should be sticking out. The pin should be sticking out. Anyways, that pin will go into the bolt. And you take, and there's a little slot on the receiver right there. Right there is where you put your recoil pin. You just slide it right in there. But first you have to take your bolt too. You notice how your bolt's got this little L shape to it? There's a little spot on your receiver. It's a free-floating bolt. See that? Kind of just rests just like that. Oh. Just rests just like that. And if the gun's sitting straight up, you'll see it's like that. It's free-floating. What you're going to do is you're going to take the bolt and take your pin. You first put your pin in first. I don't know how well you can see this, guys. But it's kind of tricky the first time you do it. The rest of the time you do it, it's pretty simple. Take it and keep your thumb cocked in. So you can actually put your thumb in there. Put your finger. I actually did it a little too fast. So it's like this. I don't know if we can see that on camera too well. I can't zoom in or anything. Then you gotta find where the line is and put it on like that. And there you go. Right there, I fitted it right to the L shape, and now it pulls back and everything. Test it out. Wouldn't test it out too much, because it could mess up your firing pin. Anyways, just make sure you take a cloth, any kind of excess gun oil, just kind of wipe. It will get on your hands. It will get on everything. I highly suggest you put a damp towel somewhere. By damp, I mean like partially wet. And also keep a dry towel like this out so you can see all your pieces. Not to mention, on a hard surface, screws tend to roll, people. It'll roll right off your table. Now, I got about 2 minutes to finish the rest of this, so I got to get right moving. Make sure you pick it up and fully put pressure on all points. Like this. Go right in the middle and push pressure. Then what you want to take is this part right here. This is what pulls it back and hits into your firing pin to make it shoot. You push this all the way back so it goes click. And then you got your little spot right here where the trigger connects, and that's what sends this flying and all that stuff. I don't want to hit that. Don't test that, because you will send this little spring right here flying clear across the room, and then you're gonna have to fit everything back together, which is a pain in the ass. Anyways, everything kind of just slides in just like that. Now here's the fun part. This is the easiest part. We just got two of the most hardest parts out. You're almost done. You take both your bolts for the back first. You want to go with the back first. You go with your pin, you go with your bolt. You push the pin in first. Gotta do this on camera. Actually, I'm gonna adjust the camera height a little bit. So sorry guys if I'm so you guys can see a little better. Perfect. You're gonna take the bolt first. Put that right in the back of the assembly. I probably should have done this first. Now you're gonna have to manipulate it a little bit so you can fit it. Because once you fit it like that, it means you got everything lined up, everything's perfect. You put your bolt back in there, and this is where the double screwdriver system comes in play. You put the smallest one over here, over here where you're trying to screw. Whatever works for you, really, just do it. You want to screw it in a little bit before you. Just remember lefty loosey, righty tighty, because obviously I've messed this up twice now. Oh, I'm going to get my hand in the camera for a sec. It's kind of cold in my room. Just now noticed that. Anyways, there you go. You got the pin pushed in there first, and then you use the. Whoop. This one wants to be difficult. You want to put it just like that, and you start screwing it like this. And this makes it so you don't have to bust your fingernails trying to put this on there. Now, same with the top, except the top you have to start both of them. All right, remember left and right. I know I switched them up. I switched them up on accident. Really, it doesn't matter with the front ones. The back ones you don't want to switch up, because then it won't fit right, and then you're gonna end up having problems. But this one you don't actually have to use the double thing, the double system. All you do is just screw it right in. There you go. And the first time I did put this together wrong, the very first time I ever took this rifle apart, taken apart loads of times. So I mastered it pretty well. After you take it apart once or twice, you got the hang of it. You can do this in your damn sleep. Maybe even upside down if you honestly had to. Just watch out, make sure it's a clean environment when you put this together. Now, this is the moment of truth. You pull back the mechanism. It should already be pulled back and ready to go. Because remember before when we had to put the main receiver assembly in, we had to cock back that little piece. And that's what you have to do that in order to put it in here. So it should already be cocked and ready to go. Here's how you test it. You take a screwdriver and you see that little panel right there. Right there. You hit that, and if you can hear a click, you did it right. Now you wanna do that quite a few times. So it's cocking right, and it's clicking. Test it a few more times. There you go. You got it. This is how to do the 989. The Marlin 795 is a lot simpler, and I probably will put a video up on it when I get a Marlin 989. I don't know if that'll be anytime soon, because the way the economy's going, it's definitely being a little hard to do these videos. That Fiber Force stock, even though it was $50, did take a lot out of my paycheck. I don't make much, but damn, I have to make it go a long ways. So, yeah. Also, since this is the second part, the second parter to this, I will be doing quite a few reviews on, what is that gun? I wanted to do a Ruger. So I'm going to be doing a review soon on the Ruger. It's a Ruger 44 caliber rifle. I'll get the model number and everything. Probably won't put it in the description. I'm too lazy. But I'll be doing it on the 44 Magnum. So expect that review. I'll be doing the Bowie knife. In fact, I got the Bowie knife right here. Zing. I'll be doing a redo on the Bowie knife. I did the review quite a few times before, but I wasn't satisfied with the quality. Not to mention YouTube copyrighted me. So I no longer have an intro. My little 3 seconds of Mr. Guns and then the thing on the back. That's no longer going to happen. I might put something in the very end. But yeah, I had music that went along with the intro, but YouTube decided to be a jerk and copyright me for it. Or threatened to copyright me for it. So I had to take it out. Really, I have nothing else to say. I will be also redoing, since this is going to have to be redone. This is the Marlin 989 original stock. I'm going to have to resand it and refinish it. It does have some problems with the stock. I have to fix those if I ever want to use the stock again. It's a nice stock. I love Marlin stocks. They're all nice. They feel good in the hands. They're nice. Always nice stocks. But yeah, I'll have to refinish that. I'll put it on the gun to show you how it looks. There's a lot of things I'm going to be redoing. Gotta get the Fiber Force stock. my ATI Fiber 4 stock. Now you can probably see that I've got this sectioned up into pieces here. Ignore these little sticky notes, therefore off camera. I'll get all these pieces out for you. Show you. I did the installation video of this Fiber 4 stock, and really, there's nothing to it. Oh, I would advise putting Loctite or some sort of PVC, maybe something that has to do with plastic, Gorilla Glue, whatever you want. Make sure that stays in there, because I've had problems with it not staying while I'm shooting. So I'll just take that off right now. But yeah, I'll be doing some modifications to this. Let me actually get the stupid stock in camera. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting. This is where I'm gonna expand the view a little bit. It's almost coming down to the 14-minute mark. I gotta hurry it up. Let's see here. I will be putting a new cheek piece in, and I will be remaking a new shoulder pad right here. I'll be cutting it out of. I got some. What is that? It's what they use on hockey rinks. It's the fiberglass, the 1-inch thick fiberglass. I'll be remaking it, painting it matte black, making it so it fits under this, roughing it up a little bit so it actually looks like this. I'll be putting a bunch of other stuff. I might be putting a small weapons light for using this at night. Really, I'm not really going to be using it that much. Another thing I'm going to be putting on it, as you've seen it before, this is what I've been doing a lot of shooting videos with, the Bushnell scope. I think it's times 4 zoom, or I can't even zoom, really. I said zoom, yes, magnification. And I'll be doing and putting that on there, and I'll show you how to use a bore sight. So this is Mr. Guns signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I hope you come back and tune in. So see you guys.